Thank you for joining us for our Sherpa Navigator video. Sherpa Navigator is a data mining tool that allows dealers the ability to quickly and easily mine their Sherpa and ERP databases for critical information that otherwise might go unnoticed. Through Compass Sherpa and your ERP system, you can virtually combine any available fields to uncover opportunities by pulling data or custom lists of customer information. You can then export these lists to Excel and create customized frequently used lists and assign them to Compass Sherpa users. Now, as an admin, you would have to do some setup prior to your users being able to utilize Sherpa Navigator. You're going to go to Administration, Manage Users, and Add Edit Users. You're going to find your user, double click. Within your General tab, you have two options, Sherpa Navigator Access or Sherpa Navigator Filter Only. You only want to choose one of these, not two. If you choose two, it contradicts each other and your user will still not have access to Navigator. So for Sherpa Navigator Access, that means you're giving them full access to create their own filters, etc. If you only want them to be able to use currently saved filters or filters that you as an admin share globally, then you would choose Sherpa Navigator Filter Only. In this instance, we're going to choose Sherpa Navigator Access. Under your Reports tab, you have Sherpa Navigator Export. Do you want this user to be able to export to an Excel spreadsheet? If you do, then you would click Sherpa Navigator Export. Once you've done those 2 or 3 little steps, just go ahead and click Submit, and that user is now able to access Sherpa Navigator. To access Sherpa Navigator, you're going to go to Reports and Sherpa Navigator. So within Navigator, we do have some sample filters stored here in the drop-down. We have saved filters as well, and if you set up a filter and choose to save it yourself, that's where your saved filters would be loaded as well. Also within the data drop-down, if I click on this, we have several different filters that are already saved in here for you. So if we go to Account and Contacts, now as a sales rep, you're not going to have this drop down so that you can choose from other users. If you're an admin or manager, you can choose any of those that report to you. So once you've chosen the data you would like to run, go ahead and click Load Grid, and it loads that information for you. So you can add additional columns as well to a filter. Now what you see within this customization is going to vary dependent upon what filter you're running. So for this instance, we ran Accounts and Contacts. So if we want to know what their email address is, double click on it and it's going to add that column. Maybe we want to see what their ERP number is. You can scroll through, choose anything that you want. Maybe we want to know when was the last activity done on the account. That also populates. You can also filter by typing in this white bar here. It's like a search field. You can also enter text to search up here as well. You can group if you want by dragging any of the column headers up to the dark blue area. Now if this is a filter that we like and we're going to run it often, we can go up here to Filters. As you can see, we have Personal Filter and Global Filter. A regular user will not have access to the Global Filter, but an admin or manager would. That way you could go ahead and choose Global Filter, save this filter, and any of your users could use that filter as well. If it's just a personal filter, click on Personal Filter. You can give it a name, click OK, and then it would be saved here under your saved filters. So we added some columns. We could also do some advanced filtering and set conditions, and we'll show you how to do that on a different filter. We're going to run one for overages. So we're going to go back to our data drop down, and we're going to go ahead and click E-Auto Overages. This is a great one to run for customers. This way the rep can see, are they having a lot of service calls? Do they have problematic machines at their location? I need to change this date range because this is my test database. So I've chosen the start and end date, and I'm going to go ahead and load the grid. So here I have my grid. I've got my customer information. It gives us the model number, equipment number, if there's a contract associated with it, what the overage rate is, the billed amount, and the overages. Okay, so we can go ahead and add additional columns here if we wanted to with any of this additional information. Again, we can save filters. We can export this to an Excel spreadsheet if we want, but we're going to go ahead and do an advanced filter. Now, what you see within this drop-down also is going to be different dependent upon what filter you're using. So we'll go ahead and say, let's see, overage rate. Say we want to see anything that equals, does not equal, or is greater than, and then you can put your overage rate in. So let's say 0.019 and apply. This is going to narrow down our search a bit. So now we've got within our Navigator any account that has an overage that is greater than 0.019. We can add another and choose again, and let's just say we want to know an overage of, how about, is greater than, and we'll just say 500 and apply. Okay, so now we're seeing the criteria that we set up over here with the overage rate and what the overage is as well. We can set up conditions as well. Click on conditions. Let me drag my little form over. So select the column. Which column do we want to set conditions for? We're going to say the overage column. Set the condition type. Let's say greater. We want it greater than, let's say, 1,000. Okay, we can select a background color or a font color. I'm going to select a background color of yellow. Click OK. And I want to highlight the entire row. Click OK. So now what we're saying is any account or customer that's within our Navigator search that has over 1,000 clicks is going to be highlighted in yellow. Now, if you choose to and you have the right to export this, it will also export to your Excel spreadsheet with these conditions on it. So we could add more conditions if we wanted to. So we could take it a step further and say that we want to see anything that's over 3,000 a month. In fact, let's do that. We'll say condition, and we'll do overage again. And we'll say overage type greater than 3,000. We want the background to be green. Okay. Highlight the entire row and OK. That gives you those. Okay, so this is a good way to drill down and find the information that you want to see. Okay, another great filter to run is e-auto equipment service. This way we can see e-auto equipment service. What customers are having a lot of problems with service calls? A lot of overage on service calls for certain equipment. Maybe the equipment is overused, it's old, it needs to be replaced, upgraded, etc. Okay, so I still need to change my date range here. Go back just a bit, and we'll go ahead and load grid. Okay, so these are all of the customers that we have within our database that have e-auto equipment service. Okay, so we can add columns again. we can add for, let's see, how about we choose repair remarks. That way we can see what the technician said that went out and serviced it. And how about the status? Okay, so we may have to scroll over here to get that information, but the status is they're invoiced, and this is what the repair technician put in place for notes. Okay, so I'm going to show you the grouping feature. We've got the customizations down. We've added the columns. I'm going to drag the customer name up to the dark blue. This makes it a little bit more organized. So now we've got all of our customers, alphabetical order, and these are the service calls that they've had. So now what we're going to do is we're going to drill down even a little bit further. So if I come up here and I right click, I can go to Group Summary Editor, and I can check the count button. So what this is going to do, once I click OK, it's going to show you what each customer, how many service calls that they've had. So we have one down here that says 11 service calls. Now you can go in and you can see the customer name, here's your equipment information, and you can see all of the service calls that that customer has had. So that's a good way to drill down on and keep up with the accounts that you have that are having excessive service calls. So there's a lot of different great filters that you can use within Sherpa Navigator. There's a tutorial button that's going to take you directly to the user manual section, so that if you have any questions while you're in Navigator, you can go ahead and access that here. That's pretty much what I had for you for our Sherpa Navigator video. If you have any questions regarding Sherpa Navigator, please contact us at training@compasscontact.net. And we're happy to assist you with any questions that you may have, whether it's pertaining Navigator or anything to do with Sherpa. Thanks for joining us for this video, and have a great day.